Welcome Synthtopia, this is Woody from Tracktion. Thank you for coming to stop by our booth again. It was wonderful seeing you in January. Here we are showing some new updates. Of course we have our wonderful hardware which is getting really close to completion. It's a labour of love, that one is. But what we're showing really at the show today is our latest edition of BioTek. You guys are familiar with what we launched back in January. BioTek, the nature versus synthesis themed virtual instrument. And what we're showing today is the sound designer version. So I'm just going to play some stuff here and we'll talk about it. This is one of our percussive patches. So as you guys are aware, you know, every patch is completely independent. Every control is a macro and completely independent. What we're showing now is the back end, the ability for the customer to go truly in and tweak. So you have the new edit button, and this is where you can really get your super tweak on. This is the environment that the sound designers have used to create all the weird and wonderful patches that we have. This particular sound has 4 different sound layers, so we have 4 complete sound layers going on in this particular patch. So and every single one is fully programmed independently. I want to just show you, so we have obviously the oscillators. This one has various samples and oscillators going on, waveform oscillators. We have the filter amp section, we have the effects section, the arpeggiator section, the routing matrix, and then down here we have all of the LFO slots. There's 8 LFOs complete, and each LFO has 8 individual slots, so tons of modulation possibilities. We have the envelopes, our sources, our modifiers. It's a beast. I mean, this thing is a complete modular synthesizer. Potentially too much for some people, in which case those guys can stay at the front panel and enjoy the simplicity of our main wild page. But for those of you that understand full-blown modular synthesis, the edit pages are where you are going to be enjoying building some really creative stuff. You can load your own samples now. You can load your own arpeggiated sequencers. So really it's a truly modular back end. One of the things that I find fascinating in this particular patch, Data Cyclone, Taiho, the sound designer, created in the LFO section a random event generator. Essentially he's using this LFO to control slot 3. So as you can see, if you hit the assign, you can see it's assigned to slot 3. And then slot 3 is assigned in the effects section to a delay, so feedback and mix on the delay. And what that ends up sounding like is, if you listen to the drums, occasionally you'll hear a delay firing back off one of the drum elements. He also has a similar thing happening on the bass line, but that's what's causing these really interesting, complex movements in the sounds of these kind of really interesting interactions of the LFOs. So you hear a little triplets occasionally, and that's all of this on the LFOs here. Firing off, you can see them jumping between each slot, and each of those slots is then in turn controlling delays. So, I mean, the possibilities for sound design are extremely diverse, and we're thoroughly looking forward to seeing what people come up with on the platform. I mean, it's built from scratch. Wolfram, who wrote the code, you know, is an extremely talented guy. The effects in here are world class. The oscillator, I mean, it sounds amazing. Taiho sound design team are adding new patches. We just released another 40 new patches with this version. There are another probably 100 or so patches that are in the works coming soon. Anyone that's bought the plugin, it's a free update. This is the version moving forwards, you know, and we have tons of cool new ideas for adding more stuff to it too. So, I mean, as in with BioTek, the product is evolving, and it's evolving fast. So we hope you enjoy it.